Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast. With me, a host, Imperial Dane, of the one, the only master of propaganda, hero like defender of the fatherland. Off here to a glorious VonIvan on Langraskaya, and the north it is VonIvan, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Communist Stalin. Here with partisan tactics, forming up the 7th Guards Mechanized Corps, featuring radio intercept, partisan troops, anti-tank and ambush tactics, spy networks, and marked vehicle with double half-track bullets and penal bullets. In the south it is Theodosios, not the Emperor, but the player, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the Spearhead, forming up with the... let's just go with Hermann Göring Fallschirm Panzerdivision, featuring 250-7 mortar half-tracks, Panzer Tactician, reconnaissance overflights, fragmentation bombs, and the Tiger tank. We got Panzerfaust infantry and panzer bombs there. We got a double engineer penal triple start here for VonIvan versus Grenadier MD42 start here for Theodosios. Standard openings here, well, kind of standard openings. Obviously, the double engineer penal triple start is very much rarer in 1v1 matchups, and Partisans is even rarer choice here, so don't be exciting there. But from the veteran player, Grenadiers MD42 fairly standard, and Spearhead is one of the more common commander picks as of late amongst the Wehrmacht players. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patrons, supporters, champions, and heroes, one and all. Other people can join their last year's ranks by pledging on Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links in the description. And, comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video, or what else. We're off to the races, though. We got the first penal troop squad out here. The Strafbart there for VonIvan, equipped with the SVT-40 semi-automatic rifles. Penal troopers would, in most combat missions, actually be quite better equipped than the average Soviet infantryman, because they're typically expected to, take on much more, dangerous roles. So... little fun fact there. Also fun fact, the Germans actually operated their own penal troopers. But they typically tend to get talked about a lot less. But while there, meow from Basil, who wants a bit of attention. More likely he wants some food, but it's not his dinner time yet. The felonious feline. Penal swimming back there, Bartwap in the west. So far, light skirmishing. Obviously, VonIvan's not committing too heavily until he gets more troops going. He's actually flown quite a bit of manpower. I wonder if he's sort of lost sight of the battle or something here, because he should be pushing up more troops. Definitely losing a bit of timing here. Bit dangerous for VonIvan here versus Theodosios. Definitely a bit dangerous. Meanwhile, it's not losing a moment to bring in more troops. Thumbs up to Theodosios. Still, VonIvan has been able to grab much of the map here, thanks to the engineers and their ability to just get up faster. We got mines here from VonIvan. The TM35. Pimps are hiding out here with the SVT-40s. Second penal troop squad ready. Of course, thanks to radio intercept, VonIvan is very much kept in control there in terms of information from Theodosios. Like, he knows what Theodosios is doing most of the time. Second penal squad out there. Guessing we're going to swing at least the third one here. He's about to get routed. And before doing up there in the centre. The penal troopers there, suppressing them and routing them. He's moving forward straight into a mine here. That's going to cost Theodosios. Oh, not! Oh, there we go. No! Wow! That is some impressive luck there. All the 7 Grenadiers managed to dodge those mines. He's being routed here. Third penal squad on the way there for VonIvan. Penal occupying here position here to slow down there. Go round to the mine, losing Friedrich and Otto. Meanwhile, Theodosios keeps the attack here on VonIvan's cut-off point, exploring the fact he is a bit short on infantry at the moment. They're also crucially a bit scattered about here to launch an assault there. Thumbs up. We got the Partisans open up here, so Theodosios will try and call them in, equip them maybe with the assault kits, then sort of go aggressive here on Theodosios' rear lines. That could be an option. We'll have to see what VonIvan actually does, though. Third penal squad ready here. Better skirmishing there. Strafbart versus the advancing Pioneers and Grenadiers. North Grenadier squad routed. MD42 keeps trying. We've got 3 kills on it already. So far, applying some serious pressure here to VonIvan and the Red Army. Penals there being overwhelmed here by Theodosios' numbers. Still, he hasn't been able to grab the car point yet. He could try and rush out, I guess, a scout car, but we've got medics here to provide healing for his troops. Understandably so. Grab the Civic 2 here. And Theodosios, I imagine, is also has taken up, in fact, yes, indeed, thumbs up. Could go for a Panzer Grenadier squad. He could also try and rush out a mortar half-track here versus VonIvan. Don't think he will, but he could do it. Got the Rocks 3 flamethrower up there, carve point hit, machine repositioning. I think he's in part just hoping that VonIvan doesn't check quickly enough that, the carve point has been left unguarded. He just assumes there's an MD42, which is quite a bluff here by Theodosios, quite the bluff. And it does seem like, he's going to, try and flank around the machine gun, which is actually over here. Oh, Theodosios, you cheeky, breaky fella, you. That's it. Inadvertently, there's of course the more to a flank for the flame for engineers, but still not bad here. And of course, we got some engineers quickly going to grab that west side. We got the pins up here. Still, good counter push here by VonIvan. Note the way he used the terrain to launch a broader assault here, making it hard for Theodosios just like, you know, shut things down. So I would say that was tactically fairly smart there by VonIvan. No like to make a nice company yet for Theodosios. I imagine we're looking at an armoured car. At which point VonIvan could theoretically try and respond with a partisan anti-tank squad. We got mines here in front of the car point for VonIvan. Thumbs up. Well, I haven't seen him actually goes for any partisans. I mean, I've seen players who just go for partisan tactics and then actually never goes for any partisans. Peons of the Grenadiers. Machine gun there gets the peons was there. Caught here by the MD42 team there. I think for now is going to pull back his Strafe back there. Bit of skirmishing here. Up north we got the peons of the Grenadiers there. 2-2 on the way of Theodosios. We're routed here. Peons of the Grenadiers there. It looks like he's not paying attention on the peons of the beat. The Grenadiers at short to mid range with their semi-automatic rifles versus the bolt action K9TK. And yeah, that's going to be a retreat here. There's no chance in hell Theodosios Grenadiers wins that engagement. Bit of skirmish around the carve point, or base here actually, but straight into the machine gun bunker here, suppresses them and sends them packing. And use space with the mines there. We got peons from the west side here. Could push straight for the fuel point there. Bit of manpower float. Is he pondering the partisans, or there's something else here that is occupying VonIvan's consciousness? Machine gun on the centre there. Yeah, quite a bit of manpower float. Of course, I'm not planning to take a hit here for the fast anti-aircraft half-tech, whatever he's planning there. I mean, he does have multiple half-tech bulletins here, so you'd imagine he's planning something with them. Which might explain why it's not going for partisans, because they do need the upgrades to be useful and they do cost munitions. So if he's saving up for the half-tech, he obviously does not want to, like, you know, spend too many munitions on other things. Pioneers around the east. Got 480 versus 123. Armor coming towards the centre here. And there we go. Tech for VonIvan. Both engineer squads they're working so they can build it up faster. Thumbs up. You could also just go straight for the T70. That is obviously a strong possibility as well for VonIvan versus Theodosios. But I imagine he's going to go for a pack 40 anytime soon. And we'll be at the 7-minute mark, which is typically where the serve player will hit you with a light vehicle. And of course, with the rush for a half-tech, they could hit you even faster. In this regard, VonIvan's been slightly behind on that race there in a sense, so that's a small relief. And we do actually get a partisan squad now here, so curious timing there. Like, just as he finishes it and could have gone for like a T70 or the half-tech, he then commits to a partisan squad and goes for the anti-tank package. Interesting choice there. Timing, though, definitely feels a bit curious to me, but that's that. Pack 14 for Theodosios. Of course, now he knows he's up against partisans because no other commander features partisans. There used to be others, but I feel like I think they removed the abilities there to call them in. So either way, moving at the west side here. Peons with engineer support there. Pack 40 almost done. Ooh, rifle grenade here. Good shot there, but could definitely be much worse there for VonIvan. Spy network now available. Here's an ability to use. 50 munitions then reveals everything on the mini-map or the tactical map. Gotta be used more. Oh, and the mini-map I can also do there. But anyways, Grenadiers against the anti-tank partisan squad here. Had he gone for the other one, definitely gotten a bit more assault element here, as the Grenadiers I think could hit that a bit harder. Maybe he'll plan another partisan squad, or maybe he's going to go for that T70 now. Or the anti-aircraft half-track. And we got another Grenadier squad of Theodosios. Could have gone for some Panzer Grenadier. West side, the armoured cars, the engineers. Definitely pushing the fuel point there, keeping up the pressure on Theodosios, looking to lock down his fuel income. And of course, Theodosios trying to slow this down by using his armoured car to counterattack and harass VonIvan's advances. It doesn't look like he's planning the T70 or the half-track in this case, at which point it is very likely VonIvan to actually plan to move straight ahead for the mechanised armor company and actually rush up T-34-76s versus Theodosios, which is obviously a excellent plan as well there to commit to as the Soviets, and particularly got a bit of resource advantage, which so far VonIvan is kind of there with, and it's definitely looking to, I think, further, you know, strengthen by harassing his opponent's fuel income. Got peons with the Grenadiers here. In the centre, got peons with the armoured car. Vessel galloping right past me here. He's a very active kitty at times. Other times he just sleeps away. Mechanized Armor Company. As expected, Phenomen's going to rush it out. Beyond that, though, we'll have to see what he goes for there. Probably hasn't hurt that my mother gifted my cat a little stuffed pillow, or what you would call it, with catnip. Probably not a pillow, but you know, like a little small cloth thing there. And he's having a blast with that. And if someone comes, the penalty was there. We also got a bit of spy network there to sort of further ascertain what Theodosios is up to. Of course, Theodosios here has air reconnaissance return. Phenomen's got a bit more to go for calling the T-34s and 6s. Meanwhile, Theodosios is actually some time away from Panda 4s. I mean, this T-34s and 6 rush is going to be potentially very powerful for VonIvan there. Very powerful. And we'll have to see how well he can actually utilize it. Oh, there's a satchel charge on the MG42! Oh, didn't work out. They didn't work out. Close call, though, close call. At least he didn't lose the penalty score. But that, if he pulled it off, that could actually have been the MG42 going down. That's always the danger when you have to fight against penalty scores. They will try and just toss satchel charges at you to land the occasional wipe. Heading the car on, there's a really good one here by Theodosios. Slows down VonIvan's T-34s and 6 rush. But again, VonIvan's doing a great job. Oh, and there was a mine wiping the Grenadiers and causing the light machine to be dropped here. That is excellent for VonIvan and definitely a bit depressing for Theodosios, who was quickly to replace with another Grenadier squad. Where's the armored car puts back the engineers? We got 457 to 393. Now we got a double light machine gun squad here for Theodosios. That is a lot of light machine guns. And finally some tech here for Theodosios, but for now will nonetheless be the first one up with a tank here versus his opponent. All light machine guns there for Theodosios' frontline Truppen. He's caught here by the Eastern Field Point, and with no light machines on the way there, no veterans who whatsoever as the veteran penal troopers, that's going to be a very one-sided engagement here. He's caught here as well there, and they're going to quickly cut to ribbons. That's it for now. He needs to get his car phone back rapidly. Team Westwards here, going to try and take out the armoured car possibly, or at least have pressure there. MD42 nearly stopping the penal troopers here, grabbing the point here. Armoured car there being hunted down. Pioneers looking to block, but the penal troopers are absolutely not having any of that. Multiple engagements between VonIvan and Theodosios across the entire battlefield. T-34s and 6 on the way here. MD42 holding up here, suppressing the penal troop there by the Eastern Victory Point. Didn't quite catch up with the armoured car, finish it off here, and engagement against the MD42, and he's laying down a demo charge right next to the MD42, hoping Theodosios doesn't realise what VonIvan is doing. VonIvan sees only opportunities. Ground Western Point here with the Straf button, sitting again used with the armoured car. On the east side, we got the Pumas with the Grenadiers here, moving forward to their 4 kills, veterans in 1. T-34s and 6 almost done. The centre armoured coming up here. West side in use, or centre in use, pulling back here. T-34 is almost ready here for VonIvan and the Red Army. And of course, he can control the fuel points a bit better. He won't be far away from his other one. At which point, Theodosios will be in for definitely a bit of a tougher challenge. Got the Pumas being pushed back by the Grenadiers. And use whip to flank here. There we go. First T-34 76 tank out here for VonIvan and the Red Army. As a definite problem for Theodosios. Engineers wipe, that's a good kill there for Theodosios. More engineers says for now is quick to replace them. Then he's quickly in trouble with the T-34 from 6 has some excellent anti-infantry potential there with both machine gun and main gun. Damning quite a bit there. Troops reinforcing healing here, fresh engineer squad out there. No major response to the fuel point needs being grabbed, and we can sort of note here Theodosios is very consistent about trying to hit VonIvan's fuel point. Like, he's not concerned about connecting it, he just wants to ensure that VonIvan's fuel economy is significantly slowed down. So like VonIvan doesn't like start churning out too many T-34s and 6s for him to handle, even if he's like pushing for his own armor. So thumbs up to Theodosios. I would say that is a very good strategic grasp he has there on the battlefield. East side there, Sergeant Fedorov Potemkin, who's ahead in his T-34 from 6, looking to slaughter the fascists. Armored car falling back in the west side, people swinging up there. Penal troopers. Strafbat. Strafniki. So there you go. So Paul McCormick's stunned, like going to go for Panther 4. They could go for Stug here. Sturmgeschütz 3 als von G. Here's the armored car. T-34 moving in. Going back the eastern field, putting him seizing once more the western field away from Theodosios. I mean, Fernand is also, of course, quite clearly aware of the importance of denying the other chap fuel. Pack shoot Swifts.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
West side of the other teams with the Grenadiers there. Veteran C3, ace level, 14 kills. Ground center of the Grenadier. So the Penals of the T-34 fires back here. Some light damage for now, but there we go. Down to get some kills in this whole machine gun just alone. Got the Penals of the Pioneers pretty much just straight up executing the Pioneers. Never stood a chance there at all. And VonIvan can now go for a second T-34 from 6. We got the Panther 4 there for Theodosios. He could of course also try to set up the Katyusha, go for an HD5, but honestly just getting more T-34 from 6s right now could be just a game-ending move potentially. Do get the Katyusha. Again, nothing wrong with that one either. That said, the question is, will Theodosios present him with good enough targets to like really make the Katyusha worth it in the short run, in the longer run? Got another spy net with VonIvan. Thumbs up. Again, it's a very good ability, but does tend to get a bit overlooked. Because again, Partisans as a commander tends to get overlooked a lot. Again, it does require a bit more like, putting effort into compared to Garmota. Katyusha, they're almost done. Panther was ready here for Theodosios. Katyusha's ready there for VonIvan, the BM-13 Katyusha rocket truck. And there you go, great shot in the Partisan squad, almost wiping out the entire unit. Western point, got the Penals grabbing the point here. Katyusha moving up, needs to be careful not to get too close to the front line either. Worth noting, he hasn't actually been using that T-34 particularly aggressively, which is great for Theodosios. Obviously, at some point, once the Panther arrives, it becomes a bit more difficult to do so. But even then, I feel like VonIvan could, combine with Spy Network, I think, look for opportunities to like utilize the T-34 a bit aggressive. But there you go, Gunnies in these there, running into like two very veteran Penal squad. You see they're doing intense damage, pretty much just almost into one. There you go in the center, another one. Good God, above. That is two Grenadier squads wiped in a matter of seconds before Theodosios, in some cases, had a chance to react here. Whew. And a Pioneer wipe. That is an absolute thrashing beyond belief to Theodosios. That is just 3 units. About 680 manpower plus munitions just straight down the toilet. That is a massive blow to the Theodosios. Like, he might have been controlled before, but now it becomes much harder to maintain control. He still has the Panther 4, the armored car, and some support weapons, but infantry-wise, that's gotta hurt. As also, I think, psychologically, it's just like a very impressive opening for the Katyusha. I mean, he got 8 kills in a single volley. That is a hell of a Katyusha barrage. Sound charge off there, hoping to bait it into it. Theodosios did not take the bait here. Forward to the Panther into the T-34 from 6 Partisans hiding around here, I think, causing Theodosios. I mean, he's probably aware of them, so he's probably not diving in as hard as he could there, because if he then gets Panther Shrek and anti-tank grenaded, his Panther 4 is in some deep sauerkraut. We also got anti-tank Penal troops out now here for VonIvan, definitely indicating that the Panther 4 is a bit of a significant concern for him. He's not too far away from being able to go for another T-34 from 6. Western points being seized by VonIvan, swiftly moving up. They've got 423 with a 363. From the centre, straight to the Penal troopers. A few light hits there. Barricade troops reinforcing healing. We'll have to see what Theodosios plans next versus VonIvan. What VonIvan, for that matter, is planning next himself. Oh, that's a great hit from the Panther 4 and the Penal Troopers, but there you go. Anti-tank troops engaging the Panther 4. Got the Partisans there moving up with their Panther Shrek. And another spy network here from VonIvan against Theodosios. Making it very difficult for Theodosios to either start from there, go using that to then deploy Katyusha barrage here against Theodosios. Getting some light kills in there, but nothing huge this time around. I feel like that one barrage might have been a bit premature here versus Theodosios. There you go, rough against the Punjabs, pushing them back here as Theodosios launch a counterattack through the eastern fields here. Back here, trip reinforcing healing, and of course Katyusha pulling back to reload. It's rockets. Anti-tank pounds being met here with sharp fire from the Germans, and we get a Stuk 3G here from Theodosios. Thumbs up to that. Plus a T-34 some 6 more here for VonIvan. T-34 advancing, getting the use here, shooting away. Panther from the west side, Stuk halfway done. There's engineers. Stuk almost done for Theodosios, but the second T-34 is ready here for VonIvan. At this point, VonIvan may actually want to consider, like, you know, back-teching for the support company, so you get up maybe a field gun and a mortar to fight smoke screens. So I think that'll help VonIvan conduct some very strong attacks here versus Theodosios. I'm going ahead with the T-34 on the left flank. The right flank looks like a small pincer attempt, I think, here by VonIvan versus Theodosios. Except the other T-34, the part of the prong there, sort of backs off. In fact, both T-34 slow down. We got the Katyusha almost ready to fire here. Guessing VonIvan's trying to, like, hash out how to conduct this assault the best while on the move, which is obviously running into some slight technical difficulties. Stuk there's ready for Theodosios. The Sturmgeschütz as Ferungi. Which is about probably on the MD-42. And there we go. Almost swaps the entire MD-42 crew. And there go destroyers as well. Another rather significant blow here to Theodosios. That's also, by the way, the third whitelist Katyusha secured. That is a hell of a Katyusha. They're really showing its full potential compared to some of the previous matches we've seen on the channel here lately. This is just, for now, just absolutely just wrecking Theodosios with that one Katyusha. I think it's safe to say by now that Katyusha has earned itself in by now. And then some. Stuk gives the T-34 some 6. Theodosios leads the way here for Deutschland with the Stuk. Shoots, misses. Shot bounces off the Stuk's armor. Fun fact, the Stuk technically had better frontal armor than the Panther 4 because A, it had the slow profile, but also it was actually slightly sloped compared to the Panther 4. So technically, you know, while Relic sort of decided the Panther 4 was more armor than the Stuk, it was actually the other way around. Fun fact. T-34 moving in there, Stuk on the move as well here. Certainly if we not to expose the rear there of the Stuk, that is definitely tactically inadvisable here. And we got another spy network here. So now I'm lining up for another push here. I mean, he's definitely making use of the spy network, I think, to like direct his attacks more efficiently and smartly, which I think is obviously a smart idea here. On the west side, pushing back the on the east. There's again, there's no resistance. There we go. T-4 strike 40. He knows what the armor is and the anti-tank guns are, so he can use that to like allow his tanks to like make hit and run tactics fairly safely against Theodosios. There you go. Anti-tank rifles, Panther XC. T-34 diving in here. We got a big engagement. Stuk there suffers a main gun knocked out. We got T-34 knocked. Panther Shrek from the Partisan tank hunters knocks out the Stuk. A significant blow there to Theodosios. Panther 4 eventually 2. Shoots up. Panther first there. Could see the T-34 number 2 go down. Swap typically helpfully for Theodosios though. Needs to mount for the anti-tank troops here. T-34 from 6 almost down, and he's gonna lose the Panther 4 as well. Main gun out, and the T-34 survives. Another humongous blow to Theodosios from VonIvan. Like, he is just being pummeled here. Merciless. Now we've got Katyusha barrage. They're almost taking out the Ace armored car. That was a hell of an engagement that VonIvan narrowly came out head on. It certainly didn't help. I mean, there's this basically bit of terrain here, I think, that made it harder for the Stuk to get out safely. But that was a really well-executed attack for VonIvan, catching basically Theodosios in a pincer maneuver, and partly again because he had spy networks like really launches it off there because again he knew exactly where his opponent was. So That was a really smartly set up attack there by VonIvan. Certainly highlights why, you know, commander like Partisans definitely has some value there. If they may not just have the same, you know, T-35s, guard smoke, rifle infantry, heavy mortars that, you know, makes it very easy to use in comparison to partisan tactics. So we've got Penals with the Gundiers here, MD42 there. On the way for Theodosios to replace the one lost. Guessing more Panther 4s, though again more Stuks may be necessary, as long as it just stays clear of the anti-tank infantry. This is so far quite the fight here, and Theodosios is definitely a bit on the ropes. Let's see what VonIvan plans next, but I guess more T-34s and 6s, fixing up the one he has. Bring up the troops through the centre here. Note that partisan groups were not exactly a unified front against the Germans. I mean, most of them fought against the Germans, but also not uncommon for the different partisan groups to fight against each other. Particularly the third partisan did not typically play nice with the different partisan groups. So that's also something in case the Germans would utilise and have the different partisan groups further fight against each other, or rather than themselves. So, little fun fact there. Goes the Penals there, or partisan, I mean, almost wiping them out here. Panther 4 more on the way of Theodosios and the German army. VonIvan could now go for another T-34 from 6 easily. Could also go for an HG5. Katyusha there's ready to fire again here. That one was actually, I think, notably absent during that larger engagement there. Probably because it's too caught up in things there, but if it could have then landed, I think, a great Katyusha barrage, that could have possibly been a death knell there to Theodosios. But still, if he can just land more wipes with it, then obviously there's a good chance Theodosios just slowly gets ground out here. There goes striking on the flank of the T-34 from 6. Good use of maneuver here by VonIvan. Thumbs up. MD42 needs to fall back. And there you go, Panther 4 ready for Theodosios. Grab these some point here. We got the Penals going for the Pioneers there. Another T-34 from 6 getting ready. Grab the Eastern Point. And grab the Eastern Point. Those are the partisans there. Armoured on the pursuit here. 37 to 96. Fairly close in terms of victory point for the small lead to Theodosios and the German army here. West side, Panther 4 Structure and Engineers, T-34 from 6 number 2 almost done. And he's like not far away from the third one, honestly. So how Theodosios reacts to that possibility of just small T-34 from 6s is going to be interesting to see there. Another Pack 40 for Theodosios. And Spy Network again. It's also worth noting, I mean, it's actually cheaper than the reconnaissance overflight, and again, while it doesn't provide you direct line of sight, I mean, just all of that information by the minimap is quite powerful. It does last a shorter time though. There's obviously, you know, some advantages to reconnaissance overflight. But still, I think it is noteworthy there to point out. Another Pack 40 here for Theodosios, Panther and the T-34 from 6. Katyusha there. This time, didn't really land that hit that VonIvan had been hoping for. Fortunate for Theodosios, but, you know, slightly awkward for VonIvan. But, you know, I'd say from 2 barrels getting, you know, multiple wipes, I'd say, you know, 1 whiff is fine. Then moving forwards here, another T-34 from 6 for VonIvan. Yeah, he's just going to start churning out those T-34s and 6s, which is honestly a very straightforward strategy that actually works. So you can use them as a spy network and sort of coordinate some really good attacks, like the one we saw here previously. That said, obviously need to be careful not to lose the T-34s and 6s to like enemy anti-tank guns ahead of time. We got reconnaissance overflight. Theodosios showing that he too can do reconnaissance. He's probably not aware, though, of course, obviously how much spy network VonIvan is using, because there is no indication he really is sort of directly. Unlike reconnaissance overflight, where you can see the bloody aircraft. Those are the Penals over there focusing down. We got the part of the other Penals who fought. They're ultimately overwhelming here. Theodosios is going to use the front line. The T-34s and 6 ready. Panther 4's being fixed up. There you go. T-34s and 6 ready here for VonIvan. Grabbing the eastern points of the Grenadier. Light hits from the Partisans on the Panther 4. Not Partisans, I mean Penal Troopers. Got the Grenadiers of the Strafbat. Slowly close to killing them out here. 337 of 232. T-34 moving up here for VonIvan. Theodosios could go for another Sturmgeschütz versus VonIvan, and I think that would certainly be helpful. There you go. Anti-tank grenade plus Panther Strike. There you go. Panther 4 in dire straits. Now, will VonIvan commit more armor? Will he even need to? We got the Stuk here again on the way for Theodosios. Thumbs up. T-34 suddenly caught by Panther 5 plus the Panther 4 shot. He's being pushed back itself. More movement here from VonIvan. Is he going to try and exploit now? We also got the Katyusha ready to fire, but that said, needs to be careful, doesn't get caught up in an anti-tank gun. Charging forwards here. And there you go. Fire straight in there. Ah! This is like everything again. Oh, no! Catches some of the Grenadiers here. T-34 going straight for the Pack 4. The other T-34 flanking behind the Panther 4. Theodosios is, in a really rough spot again. Got the Panther 4. He's down against the Stuk and a Pack 40 because the other Pack 40 got wiped. And I think this Pack's about to get murdered too. There we go. He's got a Stuk soon to be, but no anti-tank guns. No tanks. But we got the ammo kiss. He's an opportunity to take out VonIvan's Katyusha. No! He did get it. He did get it. That would have been really a bitter moment there for Theodosios when he'd gotten rid of that. When he actually finally got the opportunity. Pack destroyed. It's down to just one Stuk, one Pack 40 here against VonIvan's myriad tanks. And there you go. He goes too far there. Doesn't expect the T-34 to be close, I think. Allowing him a chance to actually flank around it. In this case, you really need to get the Stuk to keep distance against the enemy armor to make better use of his range and what little armor it does has in-game, doesn't it? Other T-34 knocked out here. Good, good. Unless you're off on, in which case, bliat, bliat. Stuk keep pursuing the T-34 some 6s. Need to be careful not to get too overconfident. We got 337, 154. I mean, in this regard, Theodosios still has the victory point advantage, but in other ways, VonIvan is definitely exacting a grim toll here on Theodosios and the Germans. Pin machine down here to the Stuk 3G. MG42 flanked with a Strafbat. T-34's only repairs this dust by Theodosios' precious time. We still do with the more Grenadiers, or maybe some Panzer Grenadier. I always say Panzer Grenadiers, don't I? Pushing forward here against the Strafbat. Here we got the Grenadiers with the penal troopers here. Stuk being fixed up. Close the Grenadiers should have the advantage over the anti-tank Partisans. Go, routed. We got 236, 139. Stuk is good to go. Consider another Stuk, though I would not be surprised. Just goes for another Panther 4 here. Seems the thing route here as Theodosios' men launching assault here. 5th Pioneer Company. 3rd Platoon moves up there. T-first moving forward, going straight from the Pioneers. Need support from the Stuk, which is moving more towards the centre, backed up by the Pack 40. 3rd T-34 some skills for VonIvan. Gunny's been on the centre and west side. House collapses under intense and punishing fire here from VonIvan, who's going for a 3rd T-34 some 6. No 2nd Stuk here for Theodosios, so maybe another Panther 4, as expected. T-34's at the ready, both fairly veteran. Consider this veteran C2-1. In the west side, we got the Pin being caught here, but then before to the Grenadier squad there. Another Pack 40 for Theodosios first. More Panzer Abwehrkanone, who wish to try and stop the socialist armoured assault here from under VonIvan's fanatical command. West side, Pin being mowed down here, the Grenadiers and the MG42s. Closer veteran 2 there. East side, Grenadiers with the advancing gears, Pin troopers, and of course the T-34s on the move. 2nd Pack 40 almost done for Theodosios. There you go, direct hit from the pantry. They're punching through the Stuk's armour. 2nd Pack 40 ready. Stuk falling back towards the base for now. For now, lining up possibly for another push against Theodosios. Loads of tanks. Engineers being met with MG42 fire. And there you go, Telemine. There was a Telemine from Theodosios. Actually damages the engine of the T-34 looks heavily, but I don't think Theodosios is in any position to exploit that. But it looks like he's going to try it anyways. We got the air reconnaissance there. He saw it. He wants to just use the Stuk with air reconnaissance. Thumbs up to Theodosios and the Pack. Very good, very good. He's keeping the Pack 40s up in case of a flank. There you go, flank from the north here. Can he get the T-34 from 6? There you go, he's turning around the Stuk, but the position is actually awkward, makes it harder. Okay, he's not moving it. He's not moving it. He's trying to take out the T-34 from 6 at the cost of the Stuk. But there you go. Might at least be able to take out another T-34 from 6, then in which case 2 T-34 from 6s for a Stuk is like pretty decent here, honestly. That is definitely not great economy there for VonIvan, particularly with another Panther on the way for Theodosios. This has definitely been a very brutal battle here so far. Particularly Theodosios shows, I think, great resilience and endurance against some of all these losses that VonIvan has been fairly consistently inflicting on him comparatively. Like, he's not really been able to like leverage any wipes on VonIvan in return. Just, you know, vehicle losses. Obviously those matter too as well. Got the parts and the Penals moving forwards here. Now the T-34-6 for VonIvan. Got that Panzerfahrzeug here for Theodosios and the German army. There we go. Another T-34-6 being rolled forward to the front line here. Another spy network here. VonIvan is always quite interesting to figure out what his opponent's up to so you can exploit that. Ground these in front of the Grenadiers. Into the Bradley with the Panzer IV. So there's another T-34-6, and he's getting not far away from another one. This is really like one of the advantages of the T-34-6, like one of its big advantages is just like, you know, when there's one T-34-6, like another one is not going to be like far away either, because again they're just so comparatively cheap for their cost. Flanking in the Panzer IV. He's trying to get the T-34 which the Grenadiers. Good hit there.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Penals are routed here by the Grenadiers, the MG-42. Get it quiet here.
We are down to 75 points.
74 points left for VonIvan. Theodosios says despite everything managed to stabilise here versus VonIvan. T-Fed force being fixed up. Fresh air recon. Theodosios obviously looking to himself to like stay, you know, in touch with what VonIvan might be doing here so he can better counter it. Again, highlighting just the importance of good reconnaissance information. Panzer pack following towards the east here, and it can do so fairly safely because again, notice there's not like any major assault coming through the front here. So thumbs up there to Theodosios. Mark target on the Panther IV here. I feel like this one feels more like an intimidation tactic rather than actually attempt to take out the Panther IV. Is like just trying to like keep Theodosios from using the Panther IV too actively, but it does look like mildly offending with the tanks more efficiently that way, obviously, but part of it definitely feels like it's just more of an intimidation tactic, like to cause Theodosios to play his Panther IV a lot more conservatively, allowing VonIvan to use his forces more aggressively as well. So that's also like one of the powers of like stuff like Mark Vehicle. It will typically force a player to like play there and cause them to play much more conservatively with the vehicle, which again you can then use to like, you know, again play more aggressively. Even if you don't take out the tank, it's in a sense a very indirect manner, like just, you know, keeping a tank out of the fight for a while. I mean, it does last, you know, I think like roughly a minute or something like that. Maybe not as much, but you know, quite a bit there. Another Kajuja for VonIvan. We got 321 to 37. VonIvan there is definitely starting to get low back 2 points. Well, for now they'll be able to leverage this new Katyusha here versus Theodosios as well in the first one. I mean, the way he's definitely, you know, well, packing up these packs together, there's a chance. There's a good chance. And if you get rid of both packs, then Theodosios is suddenly in a very bad place again. I'm not talking Stalingrad. Probably going to just go for another Panther IV here, but again, another Stuka will be helpful, as long as he's just a bit more mindful about them. That's being forwards here. Seems they're being mauled here. Theodosios is playing the packs very aggressively. Again, he knows he can because of the air reconnaissance. Again, spy network. Reconnaissance. I feel like this is a match that's just really just highlighting the power of good reconnaissance and effectively like information warfare in that sense. Well, information warfare for like, you know, Companies 2's level. Another Panzer War for Theodosios. 300 versus 35. VonIvan like Yeah, he needs to focus, I think, a bit more early on the victory points. He could also, like, done with a bit more infantry, I feel like, perhaps, but oh well. Prince Quality with the Pantherful, 21 kills there. It's 26, 22. Then he's flying away here. Murdering through the phenomenal Strafbad. Oh dear, they're all bunching up now. And we got a sudden charge here. Oh dear. Wiping Theodosios Grenadiers again. T-Fed Force charging in here. Phenomenon is going all in here, but without any smoke, I think it becomes much harder, and the packs also spread out sufficiently. So that way the Katyusha can't knock out both easily. You see Theodosios definitely taking like countermeasures to try and prevent Phenomenon from making another super wipe there with his Katyushas. And with this, I think Theodosios narrowly clinches this. Narrowly, but he does manage to prevent Phenomenon from just breaking him. 9 points left. 8. The Katyusha's also they exposed now. 7. Pantherful is about to knock out the T-3476 here. Pioneer's in trouble. Bit. There we go. T-3476 out. 5. 4. Going straight for the car point here. And there you go. GG, game over. A loss here for Phenomenon, victory for Theodosios. A hell of an engagement here on Langraskaya, but also one thing to just again highlights the power of just knowing what your opponent's up to, like stuff like Reconso and Spy Network, a really powerful abilities in the right player's hands, and I think these players really put it to the test there. So hope you enjoyed this match, hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Watch up, show tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.